The Denver Broncos just got rejected. It's official. Denver is looking for help at the running back position. We talked about this the other day. With J.K. Dobbins out for the season, Denver's going to need to find a way to manufacture a ground game. R.J. Harvey's shown some flashes, but overall, he's been way too inconsistent. Then you've got Jaleel McLaughlin, who's very limited in what he can do because of his size, and Tyler Bidet has also been plagued with inconsistencies. We talked about the possibility of the Broncos making an outside move, and one player became available who might have fit what the Denver Broncos were trying to do. That's Dameon Pierce, former Texans running back. He's a physical downhill runner, and I said if he passes through waivers, which he did, the Denver Broncos should be heavily interested. Well, sure enough, I want to go ahead and bring in this tweet from Aaron Wilson. He didn't sign with Denver. He ultimately signed with Kansas City. But according to Wilson, the Broncos were in on it until the end. The Chargers and Bengals also made a late push, but Kansas City was ultimately the team who won him over. He's going to fly into KC and sign with their practice squad tomorrow. That's frustrating. It really is. The Chiefs did the Broncos a solid earlier today by beating the Colts. It puts Denver in a better position to get the number 1 seed, but obviously, this is one where Kansas City kind of got some revenge on Denver for beating them last week because Dameon Pierce would have made a big difference in this Broncos backfield. Like I said, they need a physical downhill runner, somebody who's got better vision than the current backs on their roster. Denver's run game is uber limited right now. They're only going to be able to run to the outside, basically, with the current personnel that they have. They don't have consistent downhill between the tackles runners. Dameon Pierce, it is rare, I should say, that you're going to come across a player of this caliber this late in the season. The fact that Dameon Pierce was available, a potential starting caliber player, I kind of wish the Broncos would have made a heavier push. Maybe thrown him some extra money, something like that, but instead he opts to sign with Kansas City. So the Kansas City Chiefs, they get one on the Denver Broncos here. What does Denver do moving forward at the running back position? That's the big question here, because they need to find help, especially somebody who can be that between the tackles runner. Zach Moss is probably the best available guy right now. He's available as a free agent. You could go sign him. He's looked good in prior stints with the Cincinnati Bengals and Indianapolis Colts. He also previously played for the Buffalo Bills. That might be your best option. Cam Akers, he's on the practice squad of the Minnesota Vikings. Maybe you go out and sign him. There's also Damian Martinez. I really liked his tape at the University of Miami, but he's not even on a practice squad right now, and there were some indications that he got cut by the Seahawks because of some off-the-field issues. I don't know if that's true or not, but if that's the case, I'm probably staying away from Damian Martinez. The fact is, the Denver Broncos came into the season with inadequate depth at the running back position. They knew that Audric Estime probably wasn't going to develop. Sure enough, he didn't, and he ultimately got cut. Then you had the issue with J.K. Dobbins most likely probably going to get hurt at some point, and lo and behold, he got hurt at some point, suffered a season-ending injury, and the Broncos are going to have to find a way to contend the rest of the season without him, and they were leaning into J.K. Dobbins quite a bit. You had some other guys like Jaleel and Bidet, very limited players in what they can do. I wanted the Broncos to draft Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt in the 7th round. I really did, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse here, but you took Caleb freaking Lohner, a project tight end who's not even on the 53-man roster right now, instead of a starting caliber running back, and at that point in time, Dobbins was not on the team. Denver got super duper lucky that J.K. Dobbins was available, and there's a reason why he was available at that point in the offseason. It's because of his history with injuries. And yes, the injury that he suffered here in Denver was on an illegal tackle that didn't get flagged. But regardless, an indicator of future injury is past injury. And that's what happened with J.K. Dobbins. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, even though he might not have played in this situation where the starter went down, Sean wouldn't have had a choice. He would have played him, and he would have made an impact out there. I saw him in person at the Shrine Bowl. I got to see what this cat is all about. There were Broncos scouts standing 50 feet away from Cecil Lammey and I. I know they saw what I saw out there. So it's not like the Denver Broncos have an excuse where, oh, we just didn't see him out there. We didn't know he was this good. That's bull. They were there at the Shrine Bowl. Team representatives were right there, and they saw what Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt could do. That's much greater of a lottery ticket in the 7th round as opposed to a project basketball player who you want to convert to tight end. That's who Caleb Lohner is. If you're going to take a flyer like that in the 7th round, I'd much rather you take a flyer on a guy who could be a future starter for you, especially when you've got a guy in R.J. Harvey who's very limited in what he can do because of his lack of vision down the middle. So hopefully Harvey develops, and that's what the Broncos are banking on here, but the decision to not draft Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt in the 7th round is looking worse and worse and worse by the day. And with Dameon Pierce rejecting the Denver Broncos, they tried to bring somebody in at the running back position. It didn't work. We'll see where they go from here. Alright, Broncos country, be sure to leave a like on this video as well as subscribe and ring the bell so these videos appear in your notification feed. I would really appreciate it. And let me know in the comment section below, do you think that the Denver Broncos made a mistake not drafting Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt? And do you think they should have made a more aggressive push for Dameon Pierce? Drop those comments down below, guys. I would love to hear your thoughts as always. If you want to go above and beyond in supporting the channel, please consider becoming a channel member today. I would really appreciate it. It's not mandatory whatsoever, but if you want some extra perks and incentives in exchange for helping me out, helping the channel grow, and helping improve the production quality of this content, the link is in the description below. Alright guys, before we get out of here, I want to tell you about the affiliate partner for today's video, Green Gridiron Helmets. Use code DENSYN, DENSYN, link in the description below to save off your first purchase on authentic NFL helmets. From small replicas like this one behind me to full-size authentic helmets, they've got it all. Again, that is code DENSYN, DENSYN, link in the description below to save off your first purchase from Green Gridiron Helmets. Thank you so much to them. And until next time, Broncos country, I'm your host, Gage Madrid, saying peace out.